Okay, this garden commission requires really photographs taken over a number of months. I'll talk you through this.
I photographed the garden over about 4 or 5 months or so, and then having sort of photographed it. These are only some of the photographs, the ones I chose to use. Then the scale drawing.
So this becomes my source material after creating these sort of collages of source material. And the scale drawing allows me to place these images inside that context.
Put these pieces into place a bit like a jigsaw.
So this is the finished image.
And the scale then transferred that to a piece of watercolour paper. I created the front elevations of things and just tilted it slightly to the size of a third dimension.
So this technique I'm using here, I like doing a Paul Clay fishbone kind of a drawing to do the fern. It's based on the pen and ink technique I have, where I use clink ink and melt it, and then scratch in and do various other techniques with the back of the brush and with sharp sticks. What I'm doing here is creating the kind of aerials necessary for the ferns and the directional nature of the main stem. Then I sort of cross-hatch across these after reinforcing this bit here. So they're aerials within aerials, as it were, sort of picking up wherever sunlight they're designed to. And so here we are, there's the main stem. There's the diminishing kind of fishbone web. That's what I want to go in by carefully. And then I'll sort of take these little cross-hatched lines across the top of them as well. It's got this length one. And here's the real trick coming up. Having done that, which is far too strong and not at all fern-like, I then want to melt that down. So I take a brush to my pen line work with soluble ink, and so that's what I'm going to do here. It softens, melts, melds, and creates the visual effect of the various variegated sort of greens. Here I'm bruising the paper with the back of a sharpened brush, which is something I've done for a long time. And what's nice about that is the moist paper creates a line inside it, picking up the main pigment, putting it in the bruised line, and allowing me to draw with the same sort of welly really as the initial brush line drawing that we now knocked back. So here again, the complete garden, and I'm going to view find in that garden for various notelets and vignettes of images that the client can enjoy to make into gift cards or postcards. And here we're travelling through the main detail of the garden. It's mainly pointillistic and pathways and Signac and Serrat sort of dotty kind of detail. And what I'd like to do is bring the flowers that are around the edge larger scale images, so that not as well as looking into this sort of impressionistic garden, a sort of Monet, Signac, Serrat style sort of garden, we can actually look around the border at the actual flowers themselves and give them some detail. So here we have the kind of tables, chairs and ornaments of the garden, sort of quite readily identifiable with the client's cat, and main floral and sort of chimney pot choices and stuff like that. But what I want to be able to do is actually sort of as well as creating the kind of cup of tea and gardening feel of the whole thing, is to actually create the flowers around the edge of the thing. So you've got this sort of central column of the garden, but around the edge you've got the details like these, which I'm sure the client will know the names of, but I don't. And so that's the idea of a commission of this kind, is to create a kind of many-dimensional, multifaceted, multi-use piece of work. Here's the central garden, and here's the garden with its border of detail. So if you want to commission something like this, it's jim@jimtheartist.co.uk.